back to the deep dive, where we try to make the complicated stuff, well, simple, instantly. Today, we're getting into something really fascinating, a journey deep inside the mind. We're tackling the twists and turns of a modern classic, Inception.
Mhm.
This isn't just about dreaming, is it? It's about layers, going deep into the subconscious where, everything changes: time, physics, identity itself.
That's right. And at the heart of it all, you've got Cobb. He's an extractor, which is a very niche kind of job description.
Right.
Think of him like a thief, but instead of jewels, he goes into people's dreams, their minds, to steal valuable secrets, information.
Sounds like science fiction, but the movie actually lays out a whole set of rules for how this impossible thing could work.
It does, surprisingly detailed rules. And our plan today is to unpack Cobb's story layer by layer, maybe try to answer that big question everyone asks: was it all a dream? Who was really in control?
Okay.
We want to give you a clear handle on these really complex ideas.
All right, let's get into it. So when the film starts, Cobb is on a job, right? Trying to extract info from this big shot businessman, Saito.
Yeah, and it goes wrong.
Ah!
Saito figures out he's in a dream.
And the whole thing collapses. They wake up.
Correct.
But Saito, instead of being angry, he's impressed. And he offers Cobb another job.
A very different kind of job. Not extraction, not taking something out.
This is Inception, the title of the movie.
Exactly. Inception. It's the opposite. Planting an idea, a specific thought.
Planting it. How?
So deep into someone's subconscious that when they wake up, they believe it's their own. Like it came from them naturally.
Whoa, okay, that sounds way more dangerous than stealing something. Sneaking an idea into someone's head, making them act on it.
It's considered nearly impossible, extremely risky. And the target this time is Robert Fisher. He's the son, the heir, to Saito's main business rival.
And the idea they need to plant.
That Fisher should break up his father's huge company when he inherits it.
Right, okay. But if the mind defends itself like Saito's did, how do you get an idea like that, destroy your legacy, to actually stick? It's ancient, like the mind would fight it tooth and nail.
It does. That's why it's so difficult. You can't just shout it at the person in the dream. It has to feel internal. It needs to connect to something deep, like Fisher's complicated feelings about his dying father.
Ah, so it's emotional manipulation, basically.
In a way, yes. That's why Cobb's team plans this incredibly complex three-layer dream. Three dreams, one inside the other. They have to build an emotional journey for Fisher.
Okay, walk us through that. 3 layers sounds intense.
It is. Think of it like guiding him down a specific emotional path. Layer 1, the first dream. That's about triggering his issues with his father. Plant the seed. I won't just follow in his footsteps. Create that initial crack.
Okay, so establish doubt first.
Then layer 2, deeper down, safer. Here, the goal is to encourage independence, get him thinking. I need to build something for myself on my own.
So you're not just dropping the idea in, you're building the emotional reason for the idea.
Exactly. And layer 3, the deepest level before things get really dangerous. That's for resolution. They create a scenario where Fisher feels he understands his father, leading to the thought, my father actually didn't want me to be just like him.
And that makes breaking up the company feel like honoring his father, not betraying him.
Precisely. It reframes the whole act, makes it feel positive, earned.
Incredible. And to build these dream worlds, these convincing labyrinths, they need someone special, an architect.
Right, which brings us to Ariadne. She's the architecture student Cobb recruits. Her job is literally to design these dreamscapes. They need to feel real, infinite, but have hidden structures only the team knows, so they don't get lost themselves.
And her training immediately shows the risks, doesn't it? Cobb takes her into his own dream. She starts building impossible things, folding cities.
Yes, and he warns her. Then she panics, and the dream world literally starts to crumble around them.
That panic, it triggers the mind's defenses.
Absolutely. When the dreamer starts to realize something is wrong or feels threatened, the subconscious fights back. Automatically.
And those defenses have a name.
They're called reflections, or projections sometimes. They look like ordinary people in the dream, but they're manifestations of the dreamer's subconscious security. And they become hostile if they detect intruders.
But there's one reflection that's much more than just a background guard. Cobb's wife, Mal.
Ah, yes. Mal. She's different. She appears constantly in Cobb's dreams, and she's incredibly aggressive, sabotaging things, trying to kill them.
Why is she so dangerous? So personal?
Because she's not just a projection of the target's mind. She's a projection of Cobb's mind, specifically his guilt, his unresolved grief and responsibility over her death. She's his own subconscious attacking him.
Okay, so dreams within dreams, hostile projections, Cobb's guilt literally trying to kill him. How does anyone keep track of what's real? How do they know if they're awake?
That's the million-dollar question. And that's where the totem is supposed to come in.
A spinning top, for example.
Right, the top is Mal's totem, which Cobb now uses. A totem is a small, personal object. It has a specific weight or balance or way it behaves that's unique. In a dream, the physics might be slightly off.
So the rule is spin the top. If it spins forever, you're dreaming. If it topples,
You're in reality, that's the theory. But there's a massive catch, a crucial rule.
which is,
Only the owner should ever handle their totem. If someone else knows how it feels, how it works, it's compromised, you can't trust it anymore because the dream might just replicate what you expect it to do.
wait, hang on. Cobb is using Mel's top. Doesn't that mean...
Exactly. He inherited it. He knows how it feels, how it's supposed to work. By the rule the film sets up, his main tool for checking reality might already be useless.
Wow, okay, that's a big deal for how we read the ending.
It's huge. It hints that Cobb's grip on reality is shaky from the start.
And beyond compromised totems, there's an even bigger danger lurking down there, isn't there? Limbo.
Limbo. Araf, as it's sometimes called. That's
Araf.
the basement level, pure, shared, subconscious space, unconstructed dream space.
How do you end up there?
You get there if you go too deep, layer upon layer, or more commonly, if you die in a heavily sedated dream state. Instead of waking up, you just drop down
Yeah.
into raw subconscious.
And Cobb knows limbo firsthand.
Oh, yes. He and Mal got trapped there years ago. And the problem with limbo is time. It moves incredibly slowly down there. Minutes in the real world can feel like years, decades inside limbo.
So they lived a whole lifetime down there.
Pretty much. They built a world together, grew old together in subjective time. But they were there so long, they lost track. They forgot what was real. That's the real danger of limbo. You can forget you're dreaming forever.
And this is where Cobb's big secret comes in. The source of all that guilt manifesting as Mal.
Right. It wasn't just getting lost. While they were in limbo, Mal had accepted it as reality. She didn't want to wake up.
So Cobb had to force the issue.
He performed Inception on her while still in limbo. He planted an idea in her mind.
What idea?
Your world is not real. He did it so she would agree to leave limbo, to find a kick back to reality.
A kick. That's the jolt needed to wake up from a dream layer, right? Like falling or hitting cold water.
Exactly. It's the synchronized shock that pushes you up a level. They needed to die in limbo, using a train, actually, to initiate that final kick.
But the idea he planted, it didn't just disappear when they woke up.
Tragically, no. The Inception worked too well. The idea, this world isn't real, stayed lodged in Mal's mind, even back in actual reality.
Oh, no.
She became convinced the real world was still just another dream layer, that they needed to die again to truly wake up.
And she tried to make Cobb do it with her.
She did. When he refused, she staged her death to look like he pushed her, hoping the legal trouble would force him to wake up too. She jumped, believing she was escaping the dream.
That's horrifying. No wonder he's drowning in guilt. He feels responsible for destroying her sense of reality.
Completely. And that's why his projection of her is so potent, so destructive in his dreams during the Fisher mission. It's his guilt, his trauma, fighting him.
So why? Why would he ever agree to Saito's dangerous Inception job, knowing the risks, knowing it could drag him back towards limbo?
One reason. His children. After Mal's death and the legal fallout, he was forced to flee the U.S., leaving his kids, James and Philippa, behind.
He can't go home.
No. And Saito's offer wasn't just money. Saito is powerful. He promised Cobb that if the mission succeeded, he would make one phone call and clear Cobb's name, allow him to go home.
That's the leverage. The one thing Cobb wants more than anything.
It's everything to him. It's the light at the end of his very dark tunnel.
Okay, so looking at the mission itself, the Fisher job, there are these weird moments, aren't there? Things that don't quite fit if it's all just about planting an idea in Fisher's head.
Definitely. Clues that suggest maybe the real target isn't Fisher at all. Maybe the whole thing is about Cobb.
Like the train. In the first dream layer, suddenly this massive freight train just plows down a city street during a car chase. Where did that come from?
Ariadne certainly didn't design it. That train, that's Kira Cobb. It's a direct visual echo of the train he and Mal used to escape limbo.
So his subconscious is literally crashing the party.
Violently. It shows his internal struggle is already bleeding into the mission's structure. His mind is the unstable element here, not necessarily Fisher's.
And what about Saito, the client? He gets shot early on. In the first dream, he's dying, knows he'll likely fall into limbo if the mission continues.
Yet he insists they push on. The arrangement stands. He seems almost pathologically focused on completing the job, even at the cost of his own sanity, potentially. It feels like more than just business.
It doesn't quite track for simple corporate espionage.
Not really. And this leads some interpretations, based on our sources, to suggest Saito's motive wasn't really about the rival company. Maybe? Maybe Saito set this whole thing up for Cobb as a kind of extreme therapy.
A therapy session involving dream heists and subconscious combat.
Stranger things have happened in this movie. But think about Ariadne's role, too.
The architect.
Her name is a big clue. Ariadne, from Greek myth. The one who gave Theseus the thread to navigate the labyrinth and escape the Minotaur.
Okay.
In the film, Ariadne guides Cobb our Theseus through the maze of his own mind, his labyrinth. She helps him confront his Minotaur, which is his guilt, personified by Mal. She even goes into limbo with him.
To bring him back.
Yes, and remember what she says when she's leaving limbo. She tells Cobb, don't get lost, find Saito and come back. She knows Saito is somehow key to Cobb's resolution, to him believing he can return.
So the big theory is the entire Fisher job was a setup, an elaborate construction by Saito.
That's a strong reading, supported by the subtext. That it was all designed to force Cobb to confront Mal, to deal with his trauma, to let go of the guilt so he could finally believe he deserved to go home.
So Saito, Ariadne, maybe even Fisher in a way, they were all playing parts in Cobb's psychological drama, helpers on his journey.
Or maybe even aspects of Cobb's own mind, facilitating his path to self-forgiveness. The emotional goal was for Cobb to face Mal in limbo, confess his part, accept it, and choose his children, choose reality.
Which he does. He lets her go.
He does. He completes that emotional mission.
So this film, it's less about corporate espionage through dreams and more. A deep dive into one man's desperate need for closure, for peace.
I think that's a very accurate way to put it. The layers aren't just dream layers. They're layers of guilt, memory, and the power of an idea.
Okay, let's talk about the end, the very final scene. Cobb gets home. He sees his kids. Finally.
Yes, and he takes out the top, Mal's top, one last reality check.
He spins it on the table. We see it spinning, but he doesn't wait. He turns away, walks toward his children in the garden. The camera stays on the top.
It's still spinning, but then it gives a tiny wobble just before it cuts to black.
Leaving everyone arguing ever since whether it fell or not.
Exactly. But here's that final thought, something to really chew on maybe. Remember the rule about the totem?
Don't let anyone else touch it. It gets compromised.
Right. And Cobb is using Mal's top. He's touched it. He knows it. So by the film's own logic, that top might already be unreliable as a test of reality for him. So if the totem only shows what the user expects or believes, and his is potentially flawed, does it actually matter if the top falls over or not? Or is the only reality that matters the one Cobb chose to accept, the one where he turned his back on the test and embraced his children?